on Rise Up.
Welcome back to Rise
Nature
Up. I'm
Unleashed.
just going to double check this. Yeah, we're good. Welcome back to Rise Up. We're here right now at AROPL Studios with our dear sister, Sarah Mousavi from Afghanistan. How are you doing, Sarah?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you.
We're so excited to have you here. We can't wait to jump into your story.
Yes, we have to get into it because there's a lot to unpack here. There's a tremendous story from beginning to end with the scene of you arriving through those holy doors of the Basilica with Sister Alia and then meeting Abba Sadiq himself. Let's begin the journey. Where's your background from? How did it all begin for you?
Actually, I was born in Afghanistan, in Bamiyan. And I lived like several years, until I was 6 years old, and end of 6 and beginning of 7 years old. Okay. And then we had to travel, we had to flee to Iran. So we moved to Iran until my 14 years, I was 14 years old. And
okay. That fleeing from Afghanistan, was it because of persecution, because of your religious background, or?
Because of Taliban, first time that they invaded Afghanistan.
Your family was Shia background,
yes,
correct?
Yes, okay. 12 were Shia backgrounds. So we had to flee. So we fled and we stayed in Iran. But then after Taliban went away, we went back to Afghanistan, and I was living there until I got married and I needed to move to Netherlands.
So you lived in Afghanistan, then Iran, and then back to Afghanistan until you moved as an adult to the Netherlands because of your marriage. Before we get into the marriage, there was such a strange story that you mentioned. We wanted to go into that a little bit. Something miraculous happened with you when you were quite little.
Yes. I heard from my parents, from my grandparents, and everybody that knows me, that it was an incident that happens when I was like 4 years old. I fell from a balcony. There's a house we had a house in Bamiyan, Afghanistan, and it's all like in the top of mountain. And
so very high kind of height.
Yes, right. Very high. And from there I fell, and I was rolling down to the river. It was like really high level. But miraculously, I was, I live and I'm alive right now. But back then, they thought I was really dead. Yeah. So, I cannot remember myself, but I heard...
4 years of age, right?
Yes.
Very little.
Yes.
Yeah, now, just to draw this picture, I mean, imagine in your mind, if you can, a 4-year-old overlooking the balcony. Now, this is Bamiyan, Afghanistan, right? This is a mountainous region. People they live in these remote parts and remote areas, and a 4-year-old falls off a balcony.
My goodness.
Lands on a hard, rocky surface, and then proceeds after falling 2 or 3 stories down a slope of a rockside mountain all the way to the ground. And if you add that distance from the balcony to the fall, to the rolling, to the ground, it's approximately, 50 stories, you would say, that distance?
Yeah, approximately 50.
Yes. And then you said you stopped when you had reached the bank of a river, is that right?
Yes. I heard that my parents, actually my mother and my grandmother, they told the story that they saw me rolling down until it was like surface and near the water, and then they brought me back, and it was like all blood all over from my ears, my nose, and my eyes. They couldn't see my pupil. The eyes were like, they opened it and there was full of blood, so I didn't breathe so properly. So then, as I heard that my father tried to see if I can breathe, and then they saw that I was breathing, and then they took me to. Back then there was Hakim, like the
kind
of doctor,
yes, type of situation, yes.
Then they brought me there, and then the Hakim put me an injection into my blood, and then it happens as they are telling the story that my skin became like ashy, like dark, And then coming stuff on my mouth, and the Hakim said, like, now she's over, she's dead.
You
now.
were pronounced dead officially at that point.
Yes.
I wonder if the Hakim had anything to do with this thing that he put into your veins. God knows. But look, this is the thing. This fall, you were unconscious. You had blood coming out of your ears and nose, and eyes were full of blood as well. And yet, despite this fall, onto a rock and then rolling down. I mean, look, a child breaks bones rolling down the staircase when they fell off the stairwell. This is a very common injury that comes into the emergency department. But you, even though you were bloodied and bruised, there wasn't any kind of like spinal breakage or anything serious injury like that you would expect. So just the fact that with a history of a trauma of this caliber, that you came only with these kind of injuries, but nothing like a snapped spine, a broken arm, a hip that broke, nothing like this.
How miraculous is that?
Alhamdulillah, as if like there was angel or something. That,
Absolutely there were, because you were meant to continue your path in this life. There was more for you to do, wasn't there?
It's a very important event in your life.
Yeah, exactly. And I heard from people that they lived still in Bamiyan. They recognize me as like a miraculous
it is a miracle. They should. So, I mean, that's incredible.
They still, to this day, they cannot believe that I fell from there and I'm still alive.
Yes. But I hope they listen to this miracle baby from Bamiyan and enter the call through you, because now that same child is telling them and giving them the glad tidings of the Mahdi.
Yes.
So I hope we can get this out to
That's
those
such
people.
a great point. Exactly. I mean, God kept you alive for a reason. Now here you're sitting in this community of the riser, Abdullah Hashim Abu Sadiq, someone that you have pledged your allegiance to, that you've decided you're going to support for with everything, for the sake of this this divine just state. So
just one more thing I wanted to add to it, which I think is important. You know, Abu Sadiq, sister, he says that souls, they come and enter bodies at different times in one's life, right? Yes. So if you call this, and I would have no hesitation in calling this a near-death experience. Absolutely. Like, now a fall like this, even if it's from 2 stories onto a rock for a 4-year-old child, should be
lethal,
almost certain death.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the fact that you survived the fall and then rolled down on a rocky surface, I mean, this is not velvet carpet we're talking about. This is the rock side of a hill in Afghanistan. Then you survived this. I mean, this is a really, I look forward to knowing that what caused, because you came back to life.
Spiritually speaking, right? What was happening there?
Yes, and you always think, well, when does a soul really enter the body? And this would be an interesting question for the future, but I just thought I'd throw that in because this is such a significant event in your life, and it will go down in your story once it's written, I think.
Yes, I had actually, from childhood, I was really interested in God, and I was like feeling God always around me and always with me. But the thing was, like, I was searching for the way, some true way to be more connected and to understand who am I and why I'm here and why it happens that things to me. And then I should actually be dead, but I'm alive. And the reason of that, I was like, there must be a reason for that, but I didn't realize, I didn't knew what was the reason actually until I did my Pledge of Allegiance, and I decided to come here. Wow. And then I told to my mother, like, you know, it's so strong feeling that this is the reason that why I'm actually alive. And my mother at that moment, she said, like, subhanallah, no word for it. So for myself, actually, it's like, I know truly in my heart that especially for this day, I was saved, and I'm here for that, and I'm so grateful and honored to be here, to be part of this.
We're honored that you're here with us right now, Sarah, and God truly showed you there's a meaning and a purpose to your life by allowing you to survive such a traumatizing event, and now here you're sitting, and as you said, there must be a reason, right, that you were able to survive, and at the age as an adult, you actually went ahead, you got married, you were in the Netherlands, and you said you were very connected to God. As a 12er Shia, what kind of religion were you following? Were you a strict 12er Shia? Were you following the scholars? What kind of Muslim were you?
In the beginning, I was like just following my parents, what they did and what they told me. I was really interested in the 12 Imams, like especially Imam Ali alayhi salam. I was always like having this the respect that like in my heart, like he must be something beyond a human being. And then afterwards I will like I wanted to find out more, so I went sometimes to the mosque and masjids back then, but to actually learn more. But as time passes and I grow up a little bit more, and then I realized that it was something missing actually. I was searching, but I think it didn't reach anything. It was the same story then again and again they were like telling, but I already knew that, but I wanted to actually know something, like for what reason they were actually here, for what reason they were like in this world also. But it was really, I didn't have also the courage to ask the questions, because back then that was like in sense of like you're not allowed to ask so much question about religion, you know. That's like be like obey and then be like
submissive.
Submissive. And until that I got the chance to go to the Netherlands, and there I tried to explore more about other religions such as Buddhism, such as Christianity, and my mind opened up, because back then I thought that like Islam, especially in 12 Shias, that's the true way, that's the only way. But then I got a chance to sit with other people from other backgrounds, and I saw that exactly we are all the same people. If I feel pain, someone else can feel exactly the same pain, or if I'm happy, someone else exactly feel the same thing. So why so much different religions, so much different backgrounds, but then they're not agreeing with each other? What's missing? It was a missing link there in between. And I was like really interested to know that. So I get, excuse me. So I try to follow anyone that they were like, say they are like claiming that they are telling the truth about religion. For me, it was like, just learn. I accepted that I was a student of life. So whatever comes to my path, I would like gladly take it. But still, I was like the feeling of missing something, like to connect. That was it. I had respect for a lot. I have still respect for a lot of people of other religions, but for myself, I was that was the point that I was like, maybe I have to search in myself, in like within, for the questions, because I had a lot of questions regarding religions, and also myself, about the souls and all that sort of things. But I didn't get the satisfactory answer from anywhere else. And as around me, around the world, I was like looking at it, and it was as if everything was like fake. It was not so real. Like it was like as a play. Like I felt like that.
Like there was no meaning really in most of what we do without some kind of guidance, right? Yes.
And from childhood, I remember that I was always in love to be in the nature with the trees and by the water side, and that was like the purest moment that I actually experienced. A lot of for myself, the joy and the connection. So then I try to like do more meditation and ask my questions, and and then all of a sudden I had this this feeling that I wanted to actually exactly know, like, who am I and why I'm here. And then it was in 2018, 21st December, 31st December, I'm sorry, that I had felt like I had a vision of something. I was in my room, and then I sat on my bed, and all of a sudden I had this experience that I cannot like describe it so like as it was, but I was asking like, why I'm here, why is this world is like I'm not fitting in this world like that. I experienced experienced the life as a mirage, as like something that's like not real, but the feeling and the love that I experienced that moment, I experienced that everything was emerging with each other, and then I was the part of it, and it was like all become one. Like, it was amazing. I cannot describe like as it was, but the sense of that I wanted to like stay there, and then to burst. Like I feel that my whole body is like water, but with a really thin like veil is what it was surrounded. But then the urge to burst from that veil was like really strong.
That's
and
incredible.
Then one of a sudden, it was in my inner self. I heard the voice like, "You're still needed," and it was the love that I experienced, and also like as if I could see that I was the day that I was born, and also like it was
like all encompassing, everything happening at the same time.
Yes, and
you heard a voice saying you're still needed.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not the voice like.
Yes, I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, sensation, and I felt like I didn't knew back then about the souls, but I felt like there's an inner self, but in like different levels, like higher levels, and then get higher and higher, and then I was all of a sudden like really relaxed, and then give myself over to like that, and so the experience was like so crazy that I couldn't talk about it to many people because they would thought I was maybe crazy or something. Right. But after that experience, before that I was really not happy with life. I was like searching. I was not satisfied with anything. I was a little bit sad also because of the experiences I had before. But after that, nothing from this negative emotions or thoughts was left, and I was left with just pure joy. Sure. Like I went to like the trees and then hugged them and talked to myself and to trees.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's it's an awakening experience you just described there. It's a moment of nirvana. You can call it many different things, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, and then you became a tree hugger for a while, and then it's all good. And then what happened?
Love trees.
Yes. You know? Trees are good. They always have a good meaning.
Yes. Yes. It was in 2017. Actually, before that, I had that experience. I went to Afghanistan. And one of my brothers showed me some segments of the video. He told me, "Oh, look at the dollar bills. On the dollar bills, there is the one-eyed symbol, and also some of the pop music videos." So that
your brother sounds like a graduate from the Arrival series.
Yeah, back then he was really interested, and I was like, I couldn't take it. I mean, like it was in my mind, like always. I was thinking always about it, but then I couldn't find anything like on internet or anywhere. But I didn't also not know the name of the series. Yes. So it was in end of 2022 that I was searching like for the Antichrist, Dajjal, and I wanted to actually find that segment because it was always in my mind. Whenever I was alone and I was want to search about the truth, came to my mind that, that was really interesting. I want to know more about that.
And it is such, let's, for our audience benefit, I mean, everybody knows about the dollar bill now, and the Arrivals really put it on the map. But even before that, it's such a strange symbol to have on currency. Yeah. Like, it's so weird to have a pyramid with the top capstone missing and a one eye looking at you on the money of a country's thing, and a Christian country, in God we trust. Yes. What does this have to do with the Christian God exactly? The one eye on the pyramid.
Very
strange.
That really was strange.
So it's interesting that this launched you down that rabbit hole.
Yes. And then at the end of 2022, I was like searching. And at the same time, I was also searching for Imam Mahdi alayhi salam.
Yes.
I was like really interested. I was like, my heart was like
pulled in that direction. Yes.
And I was also happy to search and happy to watch every video and every article I could get my hand on it. I was watching it like really like carefully, and then all of a sudden I refreshed again the YouTube channel and then the page, and then I saw on the top, subhanAllah, I saw like 8 hours plus documentary, like the Arrival series, documentary 2008.
So it was all of the episodes, because The Arrivals was about 51 episodes into one video.
Yes.
Came up to 8 hours plus. That's amazing. And you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I immediately I went to my favorite place. It was the water and then a tree behind me, and I went there, and for 8 hours straight I was like watching that. But then I couldn't watch it like full, like 4 hours. I was every segment I was like, I need to breathe, and sometimes I screamed out of joy, but also out of like some sort of like
shock.
A shock. But the joy was like that I found that, but more of what I was searching for, but also a hope, a sense of hope that I had. Like I cannot describe it, but it was amazing. And that
you were closer to the truth.
Yes,
you felt it.
yes,
You were getting somewhere.
Yes. And then it was especially in the middle, like I think episode 9 or 10, that I saw the face of a young man that like so attract me. So I was like pause the video and look at him, and then again rewind it, and then again look at him. I was like, who is he? Who is he? So for me, I was so interested. And then as long I watched the video until the end, and I felt this feeling like, hey, you found it, but now you have to find this man. Who is this man? And I was searching for it. But back then on YouTube, it was like I came across videos, but they were short videos, really short. But the first thing I saw like was the death of King Abdullah of Hijaz, and also the Black Banner. It was 20 seconds video or so, something from the Black Banner. And then I thought like, wow, that's real. Because I'm like the background is Shia 12 or so. We were always talking about Mahdi alayhi salam. We were believing about that and so. So sometimes I had also like, because of the non-working scholars, like they all like told a lot of other stories. So as of this important point was a little bit missing, and then they are not. I didn't hear them talking about Imam Mahdi, how to recognize Imam Mahdi, how to
find him.
Yeah, how to find him. Yes,
no one talks about that.
Yes, but then I got interested, and every time I went like refresh the page, wait for the video for more. I was so like thirsty, like. The one video I watched 10 times, the shorts video.
So you found the shorts on the Mahdi Has Appeared now. So you'd finished The Arrivals.
Yes.
And you were like, who is this man who appears in The Arrivals? And for some reason I know there's something more about him. And then you come across the Mahdi Has Appeared YouTube channel where you find Abu Sadiq.
Yes.
And you were watching the shorts and you were pulled in. You were thinking, okay, there's some truth here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And then I was, one night I sat there and I couldn't sleep actually. I couldn't like take it out of my mind that like how I'm gonna find him. I didn't know back then that he is Imam Mahdi. I was like, he's someone connecting this dot, because the information I was like watching, that was beyond anything I had ever seen on anywhere. So the truth that was like exactly on point, that I was like, oh, subhanAllah, every time I was like, wow. And it was at the beginning of 2023, but my situation was not so good back then, because
your personal life.
Yeah. So I got the chance, but to have time for myself. So I went there, and then there was a comment or a video that they were saying there is a book out, The Call of the Wise. So I went to search for it, and then I found it, and I immediately went and printed and set read it.
So I just have to stop you there. She printed 600 plus pages
Yes.
of the
You
Globe
printed all the
Award.
pages?
Yes.
Yes.
The
Old
whole
school,
book.
right? None of this digital stuff. You need it in hard copy.
Yeah, I wanted to actually.
I know what you mean. I'm from the same school.
600 plus pages, a lot of printing.
Yes.
But you did hug a lot of trees before as well, so it's
Yes.
okay. Kind of balances.
You're right. Exactly. Nice quip.
Yes. But subhanAllah, I was like, try to read. It was so much information that I was like having also questions, but I was almost at chapter 5 or 4 that I had so much questions, and then all of a sudden I go also online once. There was a feeling like go to like YouTube channel, and subhanAllah I saw that the question that I had, Abu Sadiq alayhi salam had the videos
Answered it already.
answered. Also the question that I may get in the future, I was like, oh, that's it. And I get so interested. This book was like my whole life, so I was like whole time sitting. Even sometimes I forgot to eat or I didn't want to sleep. I wanted to read actually, but it took me a lot of time because it was for me just not reading it, but also like getting notes to study it.
Yeah,
yes,
that's how it should
properly.
be.
Yeah, exactly. I tried, and I was like approximately at the half of the book, and situation happens in my life that I decided to move to Canada. Actually, I was really interested to share this with my family, with my parents, and to ask them also questions like, "Do you guys know about this?" So, I went there, and then my family saw me that I was so interested. So I finished the book in Canada with reading it. But before I go, I recorded my video of Pledge of Allegiance for the first time, but I didn't dare to send it. Because I found that I was not ready for it. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, that's important, isn't it? That you recognize that you needed that inner, just that ready. You know when you're ready, right?
Yes.
And you never rushed it. That's really, really important. And I hope everybody takes a lesson from that, because when you rush in without fully understanding what you're getting yourself into, that usually spells disaster.
This was for me a huge thing that's happening. A huge thing. So I couldn't rush on it. I was like, whatever time it takes, I wanted to know. I wanted to understand.
That was a very important decision you made.
Absolutely.
And so it took me 1 whole year. But subhanAllah, at the end of it, like I was like ready. And then the way that I was also with my family, God bless them, they were really lovely. So they gave me also the space, the time,
support that you needed.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Good.
And I was there with them, and then after I finished, I immediately, the second video of my Pledge of Allegiance, I sent it immediately, and it was for me like I'm getting ready, but still in my heart I was like, I want to be here, but I found myself not so much worthy enough to be like here. So I was like, for me that's enough even to know about this, because there are so many people that they are so ignorant of this matter. And for me it was like, I found some truth, but then I want to spend my whole life on it, no matter where I am and what I'm doing.
Yes.
But I didn't ever imagine that I would be here with you guys. I was watching this. Rise Up is one of my favorite shows. Yes, especially you too.
That's good.
And now I'm here and experiencing all this. It's beyond what I had imagined, what I had thought. So,
Sarah, you studied, you looked into it, but you also worked. You worked very hard to make sure that everyone around you heard about this. We have some pictures. Let's put them on the screen for everyone to share what you were up to while you were there in Canada. So this is actually one of those food packs that you made with brother Dennis and sister Stacy, and you guys got together. I love that. I love that you guys actually made the effort to gather together and work together. And this is what makes the difference. There's a QR code. I'm sure it takes you to the YouTube channel, correct?
Yes. At the YouTube channel, Mahdi has appeared. God bless Sister Stacy and Brother Dennis and their children. They're like so beautiful people.
They are.
We get together. That was the first time I feel like I found my lost sisters and brothers and
connected with them.
It was amazing. Yes.
There's more. I think we can continue on. There you are. There's Brother Dennis, and there's the kitchen knives are in the back. You're cooking.
Yeah, we're preparing food for the homeless there. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that picture.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
We were
keep
talking
moving.
about on Rise Up before, so
We did. We brought it up. Let's move on. I think there's quite a series of photos. So let's go ahead.
Yes.
There you guys are doing the work. You look so happy cooking there.
It was
God bless
amazing.
you.
knife inopportunely placed there in the back, but we'll overlook that.
Refugee land.
Yes.
I love this concept. You guys wanted to share the idea of refugee land with everyone out
Yes.
there, all the homeless, because this is why we're doing it, right?
Yes.
We're doing it for the broken of the
Exactly.
society.
Exactly.
Let's continue.
Praise be God.
There. And is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
That's
and,
you.
So these are just people who have built these tents in the
Yes.
middle of a public space.
Yes.
Tell
that
us
was,
about that, by the way. This is
it's-
Toronto, isn't
yes,
it?
this is Toronto. Actually, I saw before the Toronto, like especially downtown Toronto, like glamorous buildings, like beautiful,
Oh, yeah.
like
That's the
buildings,
part they
yes,
show to the
yes,
world.
yes.
Right.
And then I never had imagined that I would like experience this way of life also there, that they're like in the cold winter you could see the water and also the snow and everything,
Yes.
but they were like not just one tent but like 10, 20 tents
Of homeless
like, homeless people, and they were like so hungry and they were so in need.
And this is happening
It
in Canada.
broke
We
my
were just
heart,
talking
yes.
today about the income inequality.
Inequality,
Yes.
exactly.
There you go. This is happening in Toronto.
Yeah, that broke my heart. And then the glamorous city was like once like falls from my eyes, like was like the truth is like so painful and so heartbreaking. There were like many shelters, many people like in a situations I cannot imagine. It's difficult, really difficult.
And what were they doing? Were they what were they doing there? I think you mentioned before as well that they were quite numb because they would just drug themselves and
Yes.
sit there in the state of total numbness.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I saw people like really young people, they were like, using some sort of substance or drugs, that they were like in a state that you would feel that they are living, but they're not alive. They were like, they were like hours in one position. If you ask them question, they would not like. They would look at you, but they will not respond. That they could, as if. And I looked in one of them in their eyes, as if he was like dead already, and that broke my heart. I could not bear it. I couldn't sleep that night. So.
That's
But I'm
really,
thinking
really
about him, yeah. But those so young people, unfortunately, oh my God, it was like.
You and Dennis and Stacy, God bless you guys. You actually went there and you fed these people. You gave them a warm meal for the night, and you gave them hope. You told them that there is someone here amongst us right now who has a plan for the future.
Alhamdulillah. And the thing is, when you know about this call, when you know about the truth, you want everyone else to know about it. You want to share with everyone else this hope, this beautiful thing. And you have hope in your heart that they would understand, and they would join, they would like see also that there is hope, there is also goodness also in this world, also in people. But unfortunately, the situation that like right now in the world is like unbearable. It's really worse. But Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, some people we talked, they were like really kind, and they showed so much respect, and they were like listening. Yeah, most young generation people, especially at the universities and at these places we went. We tried to talk with them. I was having also conversation with some of the young generations, and they were like open-minded. The moment that I said that like there's a hope, there's hope for everyone, and everyone could live in a way that we all are human, and humanity comes first, as Abu Sadiq alayhi salam had told. And they were like, one of a sudden, like, really, oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. In this world, we cannot find so much so much of this sort of things, just division and just hatred, just and this sense of I, me first. Yeah.
I love that you guys went and talked to people, you connected with people. This is exactly what every believer should do, especially in a country like Canada or in a place in the West. If you're out there and you feel this kind of passion, like Sister Sarah is mentioning, go out and talk to people, because you might wake up someone.
Yes.
And this passion that I'm talking about, Sarah, is this what drove you to saying, hey, I need to actually get there, I need to be a part of the community? What made you say, let's get a plane ticket and come over?
Yeah. And the moment I have this, I told you, I have this feeling, that urge in my heart that I wanted to be here, but I didn't find myself good enough or I mean, how I could describe it. I find myself like, just knowing about this is like a huge thing for me. But then I saw a video of Sadiq alayhi salam was talking like, saying, you should already have been here. What are you waiting for?
Exactly.
That was the moment that I was like, oh, I need to book a ticket. And my mother was like, huh?
It's done. See, this is another thing. Now, we talk about the whispers of the slinking whisperer from who we're supposed to take refuge. And one of the things that the devils will whisper to you, that you're unworthy. We're all sinners before the eyes of God. All of us. And none of us make it on the basis of our own deeds. It's the grace of God that washes away the sins. And don't listen to that voice within that tells you that you're not worthy. If you found the Mahdi and you believe in his message and you pledge your allegiance, then you are by definition worthy. And that's all it takes with God. So don't listen to that voice.
Very well said.
Reject it completely. And say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, because that is the shaitan whispering that. So another very important step that you took, and I think it's another lesson for the viewers.
Very important lesson.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And what you just said, subhanAllah, I had like this segment I saw in the shows, like Ahmad Hassan said, when you have doubt, then say like La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-aliyyil azim. And then the moment I said that, it was like my heart became like at ease, and I was like, God, please guide me in a way, because I'm a human being. I'm so like nothing in front of your power. So guide me in a way that there is no way left for me to choose. Amazing. And my choice, I surrender it to your choice. So please guide me. And now I'm here, and it's like, as if my dream comes true, as if like my purpose in my life is like this, to be here, and why I'm alive. Actually, I feel this amazing joy that I connect with all my brothers and sisters from different ethnicities, different background, but the same love and the same reason. That makes me like waking up every day with like so much joy, and to be ready to be the smallest part of this great happening. Yes.
Well, that is so beautiful. That's so well said.
SubhanAllah. I mean, beautiful. And look, this is the miracle baby from Bamyan, who was told in a vision that she was necessary to fulfill a mission. And then years later, she found that mission. And that was to spread the call of the Mahdi in a time, to address this global injustice that we were talking about at the beginning of the show. And here she is, speaking truth to power. She is a living example of someone who believed in God, who believed in the mercy of God, who turned to God for guidance, and God gave it to her.
Exactly. And you know, just in exactly that same vein that you're speaking, this miracle baby from Afghanistan, she's actually going to be, I'm going to let them know what you're going to be doing, because Sister Sarah said, I'm going to be helping with everything I've got. And one thing that Sister Sarah has is, you can speak Farsi. Yes. She's going to be on our Farsi outreach team, going out there every day, speaking to the world in the language that Afghanistan and Iran can understand, and hopefully speaking to the people of that village who would hear you and say, hey, there's that girl who survived. Yes,
indeed. That's it. This is the glory of this call, and it attracts people who are the best of the best. And I hope that you flourish in this call. I hope that you really spread that message that God saved you to spread. The time has come now to fulfill that mission. And this is it's a great joy for us to see you in the community.
Inshallah. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Sarah. How about one quick final message in Farsi to everyone out there from your region? A few sentences for them.
اول سلام عرض میکنم خدمت تمام بینندگان عزیز که منو تماشا میکنن و همچنان میخوام از طریق این تریبیون شما رو دعوت بکنم به دین حقیقی، راه حقیقی و راه امام مهدی علیه السلام با ما بپیوندین تا حقیقت رو خودتون متوجه بشین و حقیقت رو خودتون تجربه بکنین انشالله.
I'm convinced.
Yes. Deen Haqiqi.
Deen Haqiqi. Thank you so much, Sarah. We loved having you on today. And thank you for tuning in to Rise Up this morning. We'll be seeing you guys for the next episode of Rise Up. And until then, Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.